Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to overall talk on arguing with people, arguing with whatever. I mean, they got some crazy people out there that be arguing with themselves. But overall, yes, the whole arguing, play by play, whatever you want to call it. At times, arguing can just be dumb. There's been times where I've been in arguments and I'm like, why was I in this argument? What did I gain? What have I learned from this argument? You haven't really gained or learned nothing from the argument. But there's people out there where they just don't want to admit when they're wrong on stuff. Now there will be at times, I ain't gonna say that I've never been, wrong in an argument. There's been multiple times I've been wrong in arguments. See, that's something where I feel like when you're really good at communication skills, it's okay. You can come out and say things like that. But people want to think that they're like Floyd Mayweather when it comes to arguments. No, you're more like the worst boxer in the world when it comes to arguments. You might have had a few good arguments, but at the end of the day, you've had more losses. And I think that's one thing that everybody needs to know. You've had more losses than you've had victories. Understand that. You are not undefeated. You are defeated when it comes to arguments, okay? But people don't want to admit that. People are afraid of being wrong and stuff. And I'm like, look, it's perfectly, my thing is this. If you're a doctor, okay, then you should be afraid of being wrong. It's you shouldn't be no doctor and you thinking that it's oh, okay, I think I'm right if I do this to this. No, that's not what that person is there for. They're just trying to figure out why do I cough in my sleep and things. You trying to inject them with some stuff. No, hold on, time out, okay? Now what is that gonna do? Explain that. How is that gonna help me? Would that help you if you was coughing in the middle of the, and that's one thing that people that they lack, because they feel that arguments don't require questions. So it's when two people are arguing and then you ask that person a question and then they just refuse, that's when I feel you have won that argument. When they just refuse to answer any of your questions, you have won that argument 100%. So that's why I'm people, don't be afraid to ask questions. And people think that arguments are meant as debates. Okay, I gotta say this or I gotta say, there's no questions. That's one thing I feel that, they might do that in them presidential and vice president debates and things. Do they ask questions? I need to watch those debates again because I'm trying to think. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've sat there and I've heard they might just be brush it off or something if they are getting asked the question, but. Yeah, I'm they need to just, people just need to ask more questions. So oh, okay, well, it's how are you going to do this then? How are you going to do that? It's okay, well, how is that going to benefit? Just keep answering questions until you get down to the root of the answer you're trying to get to. But people don't want to do that. They just are nah, I want to argue. I want to just say one argument and be right. And I'm look, no, that's not going to happen. It's not going to slide. It's never going to work out. So I'm people, it's okay to be wrong. It's always going to be okay to be wrong. But no, it's I've been a part of of course I think everybody knows of my whole history with YouTube and the amount of because people think that you need to have good arguing skills. I'm there's no such thing as good arguing skills. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Debating, okay, yeah, it's you should be good at debating. I'm not here to, that's the thing where I'm with YouTube, I was never there to debate with people about the content that I uploaded. The content that I uploaded on my channel is the content that I decided to upload on my channel. I don't think people hear those keywords. My channel. So I should be allowed to upload whatever I want. Now, the higher ups, the people that run the website of YouTube should be the ones telling me which content and which content which content I can upload and what content I cannot upload. At the end of the day, I'm not going to listen to somebody that literally has the same job as me. I'm saying that, and it's that type of stuff where it's they're going to come out with some things saying, oh, well, I've been here longer, or I'm in a much more better situation than you, or this, that, all these other things. I'm this is what I feel comfortable with. Why can I not feel comfortable doing what I'm doing on YouTube? People don't think along those lines. They just only want to think, oh, well, I have this fire argument built up. Not even an argument, debate. I got this fire debate, answer built up in my head, and I want to use it. And at times, it doesn't even need to be used. So that's why I'm like, that's why when they approach me on YouTube, and they told me stuff like, oh, you suck at arguments, you're bad, let me help you and all that. Based off of the content that I upload on a regular basis, reaction videos, gaming videos, other different types of videos, they ain't got nothing to do with arguments. Why do I need to improve my arguing skills when I'm uploading content that's going the opposite direction of arguing and debating? Why is that? Like, and you know what? My thing is that if I was somebody that was on the receiving end of that question, I don't know the answer to that. I do not know the answer. Why am I trying to debate with you, or why am I trying to help you with your argument and debating skills? If these are the God Almighty answers to whatever life that you guys got planned or built up for me, why are you not using it? Because they're making it seem like that I'm gonna have 1 billion subscribers, I'm gonna have trillions of views on YouTube. Like, they're making it seem like that I'm going to be the Black Panther of YouTube if I take in their advice, if I take in their, like, bro, no, like, I don't need to. And my thing is this. And this is just, just to use, like, examples. If people want to look at my examples and act like that they don't understand what it means, I'm like, okay, that's your simple-minded self not understanding what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, if a boxer is like, okay, I have, like, everything that I need to, know and do, and some random fan is trying to tell them they ain't got no experience in boxing whatsoever, and they're trying to tell this boxer, oh, no, you gotta, like, duck and, do all these other different boxing moves. I'm like, fam, judging based off of your looks, I can tell that you've never boxed a day in your life. I can tell you've never been in a fight a day in your life. So why should I take, and the crazy thing about it is, like, when you ask them, why should I take in any advice from you about, like, rather than there's, like, trainers, there's boxers, there's people that's actually giving me some advice, some actual moves, actual things that can teach me to be a better boxer. Who am I going to listen to at the end of the day? Who would you listen to at the end of the day? Somebody that's been doing this for years, somebody that has well earned and just, just the best of the best training in boxing, or some random spectator? Who are you going to listen to at the end of the day? And people are going to be like, well, it really depends. No. Who are you going to listen to? I'm not hearing no other. See, that's the thing. People, they always want to figure out, like, oh, well, how can I respond to that with my answer? No, the logical answer. I don't care about your answer. Like, at the end of the day, the logical answer on what anybody would say, you're going to listen to the highly trained trainer, boxer, whoever it is that's there helping you. You ain't going to listen to nobody in the crowd. So people need to understand, like, okay, well, sometimes my answer is just going to lead into more of an argument. So say the logical answer. That's it. Like, people just, like, they're, like, my thing is, like, because they always, that's the one thing I'm like, that I've really been big on. It's like, okay, the logical answer, the logical, excuse or whatever you want to call it, is that if, for, going back to, the YouTube drama and all of that, people would ask me, why am I doing reaction videos? Now, my answer would be, I can do whatever I want, so it don't matter. The logical answer is no different than my answer. It's the content that I want to do. And if you think that there is another logical answer for why I choose the content that I upload, onto YouTube, now, roles reversed. I'm asking you that question. Why are you doing the things that you're doing on YouTube? What would be your answer? Your answer, and I know for a fact that there's people out there, they hear that, right? And they're like, oh, well, my answer, my answer is going to be so different from the logical answer. They're going to want to try to say something different than me because they don't want to admit when a person is right. That's why I feel like people, they just lack in that, just, taking an L, taking a loss. Like, it's okay. Like, that's the thing though. Going back to the boxing, example, you're gonna get knocked out. Okay, there's gonna be at times when you get into a fight, you're gonna get knocked out. Hard, bruh. Hard. Because there's people out there that knows way more than you. So that's why it's, like, people when they're trying to get on me about stuff, I'm like, okay, you might try to treat me as like your own little personal like punching bag. That still ain't gonna put a dent in the punching bag. But when you go up against somebody that actually has power in whatever you trying to argue, like because my thing is this: you may get into an argument with me, thinking your little head that you won the argument fair and square. You're gonna go up against somebody in a much more higher rankings. Okay, they're actually undefeated. They actually got championships underneath their on their waist. So you gonna go up against them. That's either you meeting your match or you taking an L. And you still, at the end of the day, and because people always do that. People, when they get into a fight, take an L, they get up and they be like, no, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. But you took an L. It don't matter whether you still standing or not. You got knocked out. Referee counted to like the 3-minute mark. He didn't even count to 10 seconds. He counted to the 3-minute mark. You took an L. So I think people in arguments, in fights, debates, it is perfectly fine to take L's. Because that's how you become greater. You learn from your mistakes. People don't want to, they think that, oh, I'm a perfect person. I'm not allowed to make mistakes. You are. Like, that's the thing that people just like, they don't understand. It's like, look, it's okay to lose arguments. It's okay to lose fights. It's okay to lose in whatever you put yourself into. It's perfectly fine. But when you're thinking along the lines like, oh, I gotta win this, or I gotta be right on this, or I gotta be, but you ain't trying to answer some hard questions, bruh, like, you need to take yourself out of that argument. You need to. If you gonna put, my thing is, because how I see it, when they do stuff like that, they start up an argument, you ask them a question, and they're like, I ain't gotta answer that question. I ain't gotta do that. Like, no, they pretty much, it's like, you pretty much threw in the towel on that argument. You did. Think about it. It's all like that person, you pretty much, and going back to the boxing, it's like that person hit you with a hard hit. A hard hit. You're down at this point. Bent over, they hit you with a clean uppercut to the side. So now you bent down, you try and look at the ref saying that's illegal, they shouldn't be able to do. No, it's not. So at the end of the day, you either have a choice of standing up, okay, taking that hit, all right, and that's pretty much answering that question, or just being like, all right, you know what? You got this. You won. People can't say that. People can't, and I know people will probably ask me, between me and the people that I've beef with and things, who has won those arguments? Me. 100%. Because I've asked each and every, going back to Minnesota Boy, when I asked him why hasn't he gone up to white people and, approached them with that energy that he has in the videos. You know what he did? Blocked me on social media. So at the end of the day, and then when he did do it, he did it in the most completely different way possible, in a way that I wasn't even expecting. Like I remember when Minnesota Boy, he posted these videos. It was like 3 different videos of him confronting white people. He waited until he was away from white people and was all like, oh, this racist derogatory word about white people. This racist, saying all these racist derogatory things about white people. He approached a white man and he tried to make him feel bad about slavery. Some random white man that was just trying to go into Starbucks to get him a caramel frappuccino. All of a sudden, that whole day, he's feeling bad like, well, dang, like I didn't, and he probably sat down and thought about it. Like once when that random white man got home, he probably was all like, wait a minute, I was born in 1991. Slavery was well done and over with in 1991. Why am I feeling bad about what some crazy white people did back in like hundreds of years ago? So I'm saying it's stuff like that where I'm like, okay, yeah, when I was asking them those questions, I was like, bruh, he ain't gonna answer. I know for a fact he ain't gonna approach no white person. He's definitely not gonna do that. I'm all like, okay, with that energy, you pretty much saying that you can approach, you're calling out all white people, right? That was my logic towards Minnesota Boy. You're calling out all white people, right? So you go up to like some 6'7", go up to somebody like Braun Strowman. Look up who Braun Strowman is, or somebody like Big Show, like wrestler. You know, both of these guys is wrestlers and stuff. But I'm like, you approach them too. And you, that same energy that you have in your videos, you approach them with that same energy. Please do. Please do. That's one thing that I always love, like, you know, saying to people when they try to approach me. And that's something that I've said towards everybody. And they've always tried to find some sort of way to, like, flip it back on me. And I'm like, how is this getting flipped back on me? Why are you not answering the question? So I'm like, that's one thing that I've always done with people. I ask them a question, they can't answer it. So anyways, yeah, I think that's just, you know, with people, you know, if you've ever gotten into an argument with people and they feel like that they can't, you know, answer a question and stuff, just hit them, or yeah, you know, or you get into an argument with people, just hit them with them hard hitting questions, and then yeah, that'll shut the whole argument down and stuff. So, but anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 36 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok. Wait a minute. Is that how I usually do it? Okay, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 36 YouTube channels. Thank you for watching and or listening. Okay, I knew I was missing out on something. If I didn't say that before, I really don't care, bro. It's freaking almost. It's 1:32 a.m. right now. I am tired. But anyways, yeah, make sure you subscribe to one of my 36 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off of your first purchase. And make sure you also use my promo code for the supported creator thing on Epic Games. I think it gives you a discount on some Fortnite stuff, but if not, then, you know, use it anyways just to support creator and stuff. I think it works for a bunch of other Epic games too, so. But anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.